fortress. It was a huge night in terms of the Champions League chase, and you can see in the celebrations how much it meant to Chelsea.
Oh, of course, yeah, because, they didn't play well first half, and 0-0, they're thinking, oh, my word, we're going to have to go to the City Ground, last game of the season, all them things come into your mind. But at the end of the day, they've gone out and they've done, they've put it into action, and they've kept their cool. I mean, I really enjoyed watching them second half. I thought they upped it, but they didn't panic. They just felt that the penalty, that the goal was coming. They nearly had the penalty, and then it got reversed. And you're thinking, is it going to be their night? Are they going to get back in it, and get their noses over the line to put them in the pole position? I think also this could go down to goal difference, and they've got a good goal difference, and I think City have as well. So I think it's going to be that tight. It really is. Yeah,
that's what keeps them above Villa, even though they are on the same number of points now. Villa won tonight as well. Let's look at the goal that made all the difference, and it is a thing of beauty, not only the finish, but the build-up.
Yeah, more the build-up for me. I mean, not necessarily the build-up when it comes into Reece. Here's have a look at Reece James on the edge of the box here when he picks that ball up. He drives, then he shifts it. I mean, it's brilliant. Little pirouette there and a little dink over the top. I mean, you see the defence there. You see Lindelof. He gets caught at the back. There's an overload at the back, 3v2. When the ball comes in here, they're in good nick there, really good position. But they think Reece is going to cross this with his left foot. So they come out. Look, they come flying out. Then he spins as quickly as you like. And he dinks it over the top of Lindelof's head. And it's a good header from Cucurella. He's got a lot to do, but that is almost on the plate, Glenn.
It's a blind ball as well. Once he does that beautiful skill, he hasn't looked. He just he gets a feel for where the ball's got to go. Look, he hasn't looked up. He dinks it in there, and that's where the 3v3 suddenly become a 2v1 on the back post, and he just makes a lovely little darting run in behind the defender. And what a good header! Technically, that was a super header. A lot of his goals actually have come in that central area and within the 6-yard box. You imagine a left back playing the left, getting round the back and popping up on the back post or scoring from just inside the box. But he actually gets himself in the centre forward position.
And a lot of them have come from the opposite fullback, crossing the ball, as we saw there. I mean, he's a real goal threat. He really is. He's a pest. As an opposition player and fan, I look at him and I go, you're a nuisance, but I would love him in my team.
So it was Reece with what Glenn has now dubbed the James turn, and then Cucurella with the fabulous finish. We can go back to Stamford Bridge and hear from both of them, starting with the goal scorer.
Guys, well played. Marc, huge win, big goal in a season that hasn't been short on Marc Cucurella goals. Just tell us the feeling then as the ball smacks off your forehead and it's goalward bound.
Yeah, I'm very happy. I think the team deserves this moment. It's true that we suffer a little bit. I think we don't start well the game, and then we lose a bit of confidence. But then we know that we need to stay in the game, and we have the chance to score a goal, and I'm very happy. Thank you too, my friend.
Reece, when Marc walked in, you said match winner, but you provided the cross. When did you know that you're in business? Your little turn, cross, when did you think, OK, we've got this?
No, I knew that I had space and time. I just put it in an area. I knew if I put the ball in this area, this man is always arriving. So no, I'm happy that we both helped contribute with the win today.
So honestly, you expected that Marc might be the one to get on the end of it?
Yeah, for sure. I had with my eyes closed.
Is he telling the truth, Marc?
I don't know. No, but yeah, I think this goal is because we train a lot of times in training. We know, like, if everyone do that, we are training in every day, so we can score. And I think we know that he need to put the ball there, and I know that I need to arrive in this position. So I think it's a goal that we are working during this week.
Yeah, it is like a really satisfying goal, isn't it, when it's fullback to fullback? What is it in whether it's today's game, as Marc says, the work you do in training, the manager, the system that allows that kind of thing to happen?
Well, I think we've been working the whole season. The messages have been clear from the start. Executing them at times has been hard. Today, what we're trying to do, probably paid off, and it looks good. But this is what we do day in, day out. The game was tough. They came here, they went man for man. The first half was super tough. It was quite unexpected. But we was we stayed in the game, and we knew we need to come out and score. And thankfully we done that.
And while we're discussing moments of quality, how well did you catch that one first half? Did you think it was in? Just needed maybe a little bit more cut or whatever on it?
Yeah, it was close. I knew there was a man there, and I needed to get around him, and he was quite wide, so I knew it was going to be tough.
And how's the ankle? That looked nasty first half.
No, it was tough. It was sore when it happened, but I completed the full game.
Yeah. Are you getting more and more confident in your body right now? You've had a run. I know you're not starting every game, but you are having a run where you're there or thereabouts every week.
Yeah, no, I feel confident. It's the most I played in a few seasons. I'm happy to help the team, as much as I have this season, and I hope it can continue and we finish off in the right way.
Yeah, one more to go, Marc, plus a cup final. How big a win was that?
Yeah, it was very important. I think we have been working for these moments all the season. I think we have 2 more games left. Depends on everything, so we need to push hard last weeks, give the last effort, because I think we deserve moments like today and we need to finish the season strong.
And lastly, for you, Reece, because you're captain of the team, you've seen previous Chelsea teams develop and go on and actually win the Champions League. So how big an achievement do you think it would be for this pretty young Chelsea side to make the Champions League?
No, I think this is where the club belongs. In the Champions League. Competing in the best competitions. I have no doubt. A lot of people like to write us off and call us young and inexperienced. But we played against a very experienced United team today. With a lot of senior players. And we was there. We won the game. It probably wasn't our best game on the ball, but we got what we needed to do, and we walk away with 3 points.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well done, guys.
Thank you.
Marc Cucurella, the match winner tonight. It's his 5th Premier League goal of the season. No defender has scored more goals than him. He's level with Manchester City's Josko Gvardiol. He has 7 in all competitions. Tonight he was a match winner. It's the 2nd time a goal that he has scored in the Premier League this season has been a match winner. It's remarkable. Reminded there, Glenn, fullback to fullback. What a combination.
Yeah, it's sweet when that happens. I think the manager will be pleased with it. As you said, they work a little bit on that in training as well. But it was for me, it was the quality of the goal. I mean, they didn't speak too much about his pirouette, his little turn. But that surprised everyone. We were watching it, Tim. We were, wow, what did he do there? And then suddenly, to finish it off with a beautifully timed cross and the header was like a centre forward. Cucurella's come in and he's gone right through the line of the ball, like any good centre-forward would do. This is lovely. Look, it's a lovely change of play. And he just said there, Reece, he said, I was in open space, I had a bit of time, bit of space to think, look at that turn, that's beautiful. And that little dink ball, say, sunny side up, go and put your head on that, someone. And he does so. He just, that little sort of dink, there's the ball back there, look, they're marked up there nicely. They've got 3v3. They're all up against players. It was just the fact that Lindelof just comes across on Palmer. Rightly so, he has to. And that just allowed that 2v1 on the back post. But that little dink ball was wonderful. And Cucurella as a number 9. Who needs a number 9 when you've got Cucurella?
Great finish.
Fabulous.
I just think when they're shaped up, the defenders, they're very unlucky because they don't expect that little bit of skill. When Reece first shapes up, he shapes up to bend it towards the goalkeeper, Onana, and they're in a good position for that. But then he does the pirouette, and then they're in a poor position. They're vulnerable because there's a lot of space for him to dink that in behind them, and it's a great leap. Fantastic timing, gives Onana absolutely no chance.
Yeah, Pedro Neto also involved. He was the one who found James. It's the first time he's been on the winning side against Manchester United, and what a win it was for Chelsea in this race for top 5. Let's take a look at the state of play in that Champions League chase in the Premier League. The Optus supercomputer has given these percentage chances, right? So it's 99.8% for Arsenal to qualify, 92.6% for Newcastle, 60% chance of Chelsea qualifying for top 5, 49.1% for Aston Villa and 87.3% for Manchester City. The lowest is Nottingham Forest, who have dropped to 7th position. Not much breathing room between those sides. 2nd on 68 points, 7th on 62. It is making for a fantastic last 2 weeks of the season.
I think we can rule out Forest. Sadly, my opinion, I just think they've done a fantastic job to already have qualified for European football. But it won't be Champions League, in my opinion. I think City will finish 3rd or 4th. They'll be in there. Newcastle have done enough. And it's just a shootout between Chelsea, who got to go to the City ground, which will be a difficult game. And I think Villa will get the job done against Manchester United. But it won't be easy. As we saw there, it wasn't easy for Chelsea tonight. So it all depends what happens in that Europa League Cup final, what the mood is like, how much celebration they've been doing, if they indeed win that cup. So There's a lot in the balance. I've seen that graphic so many times, I keep changing my mind.
I know you do. Isn't it the same story for City, though? Because although they have a cup final, we saw them drawing with Southampton last time out. Anything could happen on the back of the cup final.
It shows you the strength of the Premier League, doesn't it? When Southampton, get a draw against Man City, when City are going for everything and Southampton are out of it, they know they're down and in the Championship. Just looking at that fixture again now, I wouldn't count Forest out yet. You never know what you're going to get with West Ham. Forest could go to West Ham and get a result there. And if they get that result, then they're at home. And that place they get rocking against Chelsea. And Chelsea have not been great away from home. Yeah. They've done great at home, Chelsea. Away from home, they're a little bit of a soft belly at the moment. So I wouldn't cast them 100% out. And it's going to go to the wire. It really is. I think, goal difference is going to play a big, big part in this. I really do.
We'll know come 6 p.m. on Sunday next week, won't we? It's going down to the wire, as we have been saying all the time. Also down to the wire.
Ruben, unfortunately, does that just feel really familiar? Lots of good moments, lots of chances, more possession than Chelsea, but ultimately undone in a moment.
Yeah, it was the good things that we talked about before the game. We had some moments. We are improving the way we play football. We could press quite well, and we had some chances, but then one situation, and you can feel it, the same mistake that we suffer a goal, and then almost in the next play we open our defense for the second opportunity. So we are building something, but in the end you need to win games, and we have that lack of aggression in the final third. You can feel it, but we are improving.
So that urgency you wanted last week, particularly in the boxes, lacking again today?
Not so much. It was not so clear. We have our situations. We cross the ball. We have the second balls. So we were quite aggressive today. We need to be more aggressive, because you can feel it that we have good build up until the last third, and then we miss something. But we need to work on that, but I think we faced the competition in the right way today. We were competitive.
Sorry, is that an issue for the team? Just looking at the squad, you even look at the team on paper and you think it's one that's going to struggle to score goals. Is that something, when you talked last week about needing to be brave in the summer, is that the area, attacking areas? Do you need to add more goals to this team?
We'll not talk about the summer. The good thing is that in the Europa League we are scoring many goals. So now we are going to prepare the game for Europa League. Of course, we have to deal with a lot of things during the summer. But again, today we was a really good game to prepare also the final. Because if we put some players out, and the feeling of the last game is there, almost 10 days without playing, for me, I think would be a mistake. So I think was a good thing for them to play, to feel that they can do it. We can control the game. We can have possession. We can push the opponent. All these small things, I know for sure that the players are feeling in this moment. But in the end, in this club, in any club, you need to win, and we are not winning games.
We're going to react to Ruben Amorim's words in just a little bit. But first, we go back to Stamford Bridge, because standing by for us is Gary Cahill. Gary, great to be chatting to you once again. We heard before the game that you weren't so sure that it would be straightforward. Turned out there was just the one goal in it tonight. What did you think of the game? What did you think of the performance?
I thought Chelsea played better. I was here against a game against Liverpool. I thought they were terrific. Today, I thought the start of the game was very slow. They struggled to get into the game and get settled. But overall, it was the result that mattered. It was the result that counted. It was a huge night in terms of the result. Obviously, they've got 3 cup finals, which I said before the show. The game that's just been... Sorry, I can't hear you very well.
We can hear you, Gary. You can keep going. You can keep going.
Okay. Sorry, yeah, so I said 3 cup finals before the game. 1 just played tonight. Great result. On to the next one. Sorry, I'm really struggling here.
Okay, well, thank you so much to Gary. We are having a little bit of technical issues,
Please,
but we'll see if we can get back to him. As we heard, 3 cup finals. He did mention that before the show. They've won the first of them. Then they go to Forest next Sunday in the last game. Need to win there. Need to win the actual cup final, which is the Europa Conference League against Real Betis.
Yeah, that game there was the toughest cup final they would have, in my opinion. I think I understand what Glenn's saying. They go away to the City Ground and Nottingham Forest. That atmosphere is going to be incredible there. But it's very. I think the easiest game is where they're going to win a trophy against Betis. You know, I think it's been a cruise up to now. I think this is the toughest game, and it is a cup final. But I can see them winning that. But they need Champions League football. They need that next season to be able to attract some more players, especially as centre forward, which they're crying out for.
Yeah, they haven't been in the Champions League for 2 seasons, hoping to get back there. Aston Villa have had